Throughout the last year, advocates for the homeless in the Grand Rapids and Traverse City regions have adopted new ways to reach out to and help people with little to nothing of their own, including finding more space for beds in shelters.
So in August, we began searching for an alternative building where we could produce overflow shelter so that anyone that wants to come in can.
Dennis Van Kampen is the president and CEO of Mel Trotter Ministries. He says Mel Trotter has 475 beds in its shelter, and on cold winter nights before COVID-19, they could find ways to house almost 700 people.
If that meant mattresses in conference rooms, we would do that. But with social distancing, there's a hard cap on how many people we can serve.
In December, Mel Trotter, along with Guiding Light, an organization that helps people with recovery, found a building in downtown Grand Rapids that could fit an additional 100 beds. With financial help from the city of Grand Rapids, Kent County, and private donors, they have been able to lease it for 5 months to use as an emergency shelter. Van Kampen says homelessness has been increasing over the last several years, and thanks to the pandemic, the obstacles to help have been increasing too.
We have also seen it be a little more difficult for people to leave homelessness because, with social restrictions and shutdowns, how do you find housing? How do you find a job?
Ryan Hannon, the street outreach manager for Goodwill Northern Michigan, says he's seen people in one particular industry reaching out more for help.
But what we've seen is an increase of people who have worked in restaurants that have now either had their hours greatly reduced or lost their job because of the pandemic, and as a result have lost the place they were staying.
When it comes to finding people who don't have a place to stay, advocates for the homeless have had to get creative. Pine Rest Christian Mental Health Services has started using a drone to find people who might be staying in wooded areas.
We weren't able to have necessarily human contact all the time, so we were able to find, encampments in areas we might not have been able to before. Plus, we were able to remain safe as the staff trying to reach out to people.
Though they've had to adapt to how they serve the homeless, there is a potential upside. Both Holt and Hannon say they think the last year has brought increased awareness to the issue of homelessness.
Really, the sheer fact of helping people meet their basic needs has really brought to light the issue of homelessness in this pandemic.
I think that it made things more visible, and I think that created a willingness to listen now in regards that homelessness is real, homelessness is not going anywhere, and homelessness needs to be addressed.
Reporting in Michigan, Rachel Schuett, VNN.